Hey guys, it's me Jenny, and for today's comment and commentary, I'm going to be doing what I do for a comment commentary, which is replying to you guys' comments. Um, uh, and yeah, I've typed my responses to all of you. I try and answer as many comments as I physically can, and then I talk about them as well, because that's what a comment commentary is. And I'm filming downstairs at the moment because I'm uploading at the same time, so I need to be in good signal. And I was down here anyway because we're pet sitting at the moment, so I've answered all your comments this week while having a tortoise in my lap. So yeah, I'll show you guys Bert in a minute. He's kind of sleepy, so he's just sat in my lap. So if I suddenly look down, it's because he's moving a little bit. But if he sleeps, he sleeps, and if he starts to get restless, I'll show him and then put him down. But yeah, we're pet sitting Bert at the moment, and he is currently sat in my lap. Bless him. Okay, so going from the beginning, on my Monday Pirates of the Caribbean video, for you guys who don't really know what this is, comic country, I go through the previous week's video, so that's Monday to Sunday, and I talk about local events, if you hadn't worked that out, so there we go. So on Monday's video last week, which was my Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, I swear I'm sober, video, Baxon said, fantastic editing. I am really having fun mixing up with the editing and doing little clippets into the gaming videos just to make them slightly more interesting. It's interesting kind of because a number of things I say when I'm playing games where I'm referencing something that I know about but I don't know whether or not you guys know about, it's kind of good to find those clips and put them online. What are you doing? Put them online so that you guys can kind of work out what I'm actually referencing. Yeah, KSJ said, sword fighting, love it. It's fun to watch you walking around, flailing your arm, whatever it might be holding. Yes, that game really does encourage a great deal of destruction in the most entertaining way possible. It's going to be really hard to finish this video. Anyway, moving on to my Deadpool review, spoiler 3 thoughts. Baxton said he loved my thumbnail. I was trying to find a picture of Deadpool and I found him with an umbrella, and then I was like, I've got a picture of me with an umbrella from VidCon, so that's what my thumbnail was. I thought it was a nice juxtaposition of Deadpool with a red umbrella jumping a building and me sat in the Californian sun with a white umbrella. So yes, I was quite proud of that thumbnail. Infinity Plus One says you thought Kick-Ass was a better movie. I do agree. I think Kick-Ass is a better movie. It's better structure. It tells a more complex story with more complex characters, while Deadpool uses all of the tropes of a classic origin story and messes with the timeline slightly. And the thing that's unique about Deadpool is the character and the perspective and the humour rather than anything else about the plot. So I think I definitely agree that Kick-Ass is a better movie, it's a better story, but I think Deadpool is a lot more enjoyable for me. The thing with Kick-Ass is it does deal with more complex, realistic characters in many, many ways, so it's a lot darker, it's a lot less fun, while Deadpool is all about the fun and with really minus responsibility. It's with great power comes genuine irresponsibility, so there we go. Sean says, was it worth seeing on the big screen? I don't necessarily believe it to be a cinematic experience. Like Mad Max, I believe to be a cinematic experience because seeing that on the screen with the visuals, with the aesthetic, seeing The Hobbit or Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings on the big screen, that's a cinematic experience because the sound and the size of the screen really do positively affect how things actually look, and it's part of the actual cinematic experience, watching it with an audience. Same with Star Wars. Star Wars is a cinematic experience because that's one of the few times when it's like a group cinematic experience. It's a cultural kind of phenomenon, Star Wars. While Deadpool, I think my main thing would be to recommend watching it with friends. And there was one of the people that I went to go see it with, her boyfriend wasn't particularly interested in seeing Deadpool, but she really enjoyed it. So I think what I said to her was, if you're not that invested in the character, it is definitely worth watching, but I think watching it at home, like snuggling up with Netflix when it's on Netflix, with some drink and some friends, is probably just as equal an enjoyable experience as seeing it in the cinema. kind of the selling point for this movie is not the visuals, it is not the sound, it is the aesthetic of the character, as I said. So, I think you can equally enjoy it at home. Okay, Bert's getting restless. One sec. I'm going to put him down on the floor so he can wander around. But there we go. This is Bert, the tortoise. We're pet sitting. There we go. He's very cute. But as you can see, he wants to go walking around, so I'm going to put him down. He was asleep earlier on my lap. He's an amphibian. Well, no, he's a reptilian. Reptile. So he's cold. It's like having a little like chill pack on my lap. There we go. Anyway, so back to it. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a cinematic experience. Mad Max, Star Wars, and those films that rely on the visuals and the sound to kind of build the universe in a very detailed way. They're the ones that you need to see in the cinema. With Deadpool, the main selling point is the character, which you can experience just as well at home, more or less. I think people could argue either way, but for me personally, I think if you're not that invested in the character, you don't need to go see it in the cinema. But that's just my opinion. Mark Amano says that it's rated R in the US. I think there is some very specific legislation between 15 and 18 in the UK. I don't know whether or not in order to get 15 there was like edits for the UK. I feel like for many reasons it should have been maybe rated 18, but I can't say for sure. I can say for sure that my 15-year-old self would have detested this film. I would have not wanted to go see it. I would have hated almost all of it. That is to say, he's about to crawl over my foot. That is to say, I was a little bit shy to most things. My first kind of R-rated movie that I actually watched was Kick-Ass, and I enjoy that film now. I really do when I own it, and I've watched it many times. But the first time I watched it, I really had an unpleasant time watching it because I wasn't used to that sort of graphic violence, even if it's graphic comic book violence. And yeah, I found that really uncomfortable film to watch. It wasn't until really I got into Game of Thrones and watched True Blood a little bit and kind of those HBO shows that kind of I became desensitized to violence and gore and sexual content to a point where I could actually enjoy it without it being really off-putting. And again, Movie Club helped as well. I mean, I watched Zack and Miri make a porno, for crying out loud, and even though there are still stuff that in a lot of films make me uncomfortable, I can still enjoy it. Moving on. Nathan Lyle says, "Damn you, Jenny, after your brilliant review, we have to go see it." Well, you shouldn't just go on my review, but I hope you do enjoy it, and I hope I haven't overhyped it for you. KSJ says he waited to watch this until after he'd seen the movie. And he really liked the fact that they kept comparing it to a Valentine's movie, or whether or not it was a romantic movie or a horror film. Like that was mentioned a couple of times throughout the film. And it's interesting because superheroes as a genre, I suppose the most broad genre, if you were to put them into, would be action. But every single film nowadays combines aspects of romance and drama and horror and action. So kind of comic book movies fall into this weird kind of mid-zone. I suppose romance is probably the second gets most ignored, which I'm perfectly content with for the most part. But yes, I did like that as a sub thing. And yeah, the end clip was interesting. As someone who didn't watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off until Movie Club, so I would have been, let's say, 20-something, it was, I didn't get that reference. I was like, oh, dressing gown, and breaking the fourth wall. It's Liverpool, breaking the fourth wall. So it wasn't until afterwards I was like, oh, that's a reference to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because, as I said, I've only watched that movie once. I didn't watch it until I was gone 20. And so it's not like part of my subconscious. I was like, oh, Ferris Bueller. I was just like, oh, end clip, entertaining. So yeah. What else? Ranger 7 Studios says that he thought it was freaking awesome, but had problems that all of the content in the film, or the best content, was spoiled by the trailers. I don't necessarily agree with that, but then again, I have recently, as a point of reference for films that I've been really interested in, stopped watching trailers. I watched one trailer. I did it for Star Wars. I did it for Deadpool. Once I've watched one trailer, I just don't watch anymore. I deliberately avoid any like sneak peek clips. Just avoid them. Like I feel like a lot of trailers, we've done movie club strikes back, and We Are Movie Club. We've done hangouts in the past about trailers and about the problematic nature of trailers, and the problematic nature of trying to so desperately to get people into the seats in the cinema that things are spoiled or they're misinterpreted in trailers. And so nowadays I just try and avoid it. Or even, if there's a film I know I'm going to see, I won't watch any trailers at all. And then maybe after I've watched the film, I watch the trailers and see whether or not the trailers actually say anything, say the right thing about the film, whether or not the trailers are actually telling the truth after I've seen the film. Because quite a lot of the time they just don't capture the atmosphere properly. Okay, moving on to my comic commentary for last week, which was a double comic commentary because it was 2 weeks worth of comic commentary. Let's have a quick look. So thank you to all my soap people. You guys were awesome. And let's see. Baxon's story about his brother falling off a horse and into a cactus, which I talked about last week. Apparently, it's a true story. That's incredible. It was in Mexico. The saddle broke and he rolled into a cactus. That was I thought that was like a cartoony thing to fill in the word week before's word, but apparently that's a true story, which is amazing. And also worked out the definition of you make a better door than a window, which Mark Amano talked about. I'm sorry, sometimes I'm culturally unaware. I'm sure I have heard that phrase before, but it's not something that's part of my psyche and that I automatically know what it means. So thank you to Mark and Baxon for filling me in on what the phrase you make a better door than a window means. Both he and Baxon are soap people, as well as KSJ and Nathan Lyle is too. So thank you to my soap people, you guys are the bestest. And we've got KSJ says his car is so dirty, he needs to have a good bath of soap suds. That's nice. And Nathan Lyle says he saw that I'd uploaded my movie review, but decided to watch this one first before going to see that, so no spoilers. I try and avoid spoilers in most of my movie reviews. I'm very good at giving, at least I think, I try, and I think I'm pretty good at being relatively spoiler-free. I tend to comment on concepts and that scene in a vague thing, and stylistic elements that don't necessarily spoil the plot. You can talk about characters without necessarily spoiling the plot. I'd say that probably 80% of all of my movie reviews and anime reviews are spoiler-free. But that's just one of those things. I don't like when someone says this is a movie review and then they just give the plot. So that's pointless. Hi guys, sorry about the weird edit. I usually don't edit these, but I've just had to migrate out of the sitting room because the TV is about to be in use. So carrying on, I could add in all of the awkward, me moving my camera and trying to avoid tripping over Bert on the way out the sitting room, but let's not. So hello again. So I think I just finished my commentary. Yes, I had. So on to Trisha Hushberger's Naked Truth response on Valentine's. KSJ said Happy Valentine's Day, and do I have a romantic comedy that's my favourite? I've talked about it before. I'm not really romantic. Most romantic comedies kind of annoy me because they don't properly build a relationship. More often than not, the relationship is unequal. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to romantic comedies, I much love the Pride and Prejudice type of thing, where it's people who don't like each other, and then you have time, genuine time, to build that relationship. So Pride and Prejudice covers the course of, I think it's about a year, of these characters building their relationship. While that sort of thing, I really like that sort of thing. So I've got to say, probably my favourite romantic comedy of all time is Much Ado About Nothing, not only because the comedy is so well done, the kind of story around the romance is so well done. I love the juxtaposition of these two romantic relationships that go on during the course of the film, where it's got the young classic romance where it's love at first sight and it's a beautiful young maid and a charming young soldier, and it all goes horribly wrong. And I love the fact that it's kind of a sort of story where it's all about careful lie telling and mistruths. And so I've got to say, I love the Kenneth Branagh directed version. I really genuinely adore that version. Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh are out of this world amazing. I love how that story builds. I love the direction. I love the aesthetic of that film. It is absolutely beautiful, and I like, in a very, very different way, I very, very much like the Joss Whedon version. Amy Acker in that is out of this world amazing. I love them both. It's one of those ones where, like I've talked about this so many times, the ability to separate fictional universes or different interpretations of the same text. Those two films are such different films, telling the same story in such unique ways that I genuinely love them both. I love both the Kenneth Branagh Much Ado About Nothing and the Joss Whedon Much Ado About Nothing. I think the acting throughout in both is brilliant. I think the things that are kind of lower in the Kenneth Branagh version are peaked by other aspects, while the things, again, in the Joss Whedon version that are peaked also have lower moments. I'd say for the Kenneth Branagh, the weakness is the police officers, while that's one of the key strengths of the Joss Whedon one. While the Joss Whedon one, probably the thing that puts me off about it is occasionally it's just slightly too Americanized, while the Kenneth Branagh version gets that dry wit so well with the English side of things. I think there's such very different films. The Kenneth Branagh one is a beautiful, mid-medieval, post-medieval type, foreign beautiful land, like Tuscan beauty, and it's gorgeous and classical, while the Joss Whedon one is very film noir. It's a modern film noir, and it takes the same story and the same concepts and tells them in completely different ways, and I love them both, and I love the relationships that are portrayed in that film. I love that in both of them they really do challenge the concept that the hero relationship is not going to lead to a very successful marriage. It really isn't, because Claudio is an enormous idiot. Anyway, Nathan Lau says that he loves Valentine's Day for the same reason he loves Easter and Halloween, the abundance of candy. I have to say, the abundance of cheap chocolate. It's definitely an appealing factor when it comes to pretty much Christmas, Halloween, Easter, and Valentine's Day. Cheap chocolate is such a good thing. So good. I apologise if there's a bit of an echo. I've just realised because I'm on the stairs, so there might be a little bit of an echo going on. So I'm sorry if the audio is not as good as normal. Not that it's ever particularly good, because I film this on my web camera, so I can ramble. On something fun, anxietying, and hair and stationary chic video. Where was I? Sorry, I scrolled up and then scrolled down. Manu says cute. Thank you. KSJ says he might be anxious too if I'd just stolen something here. I haven't returned the teaspoon this week because I didn't go to the pub this week. But I had it in my bag, ready to return, and I am very much morally bound to return that teaspoon. It's grating on me. There are strange noises going on in the house. I think the boiler might have just turned on. Sorry. Or maybe there's something going on down the street. Tulsi says someone should have snapped a photo. A teaspoon is the new thing. Yeah, I did actually include it in those clips, was my hair up in a teaspoon, and then it turned out, because I was facing away from my camera, I couldn't really tell the angle very well, so when I was editing together the mini montage, I took out that clip because it just wasn't very well lit. But at some point I will have to show you guys how to put your hair up in a teaspoon if you have hair like mine, which I don't think most of you do, given that my demographic is mostly male, but then again, I could be misjudging. And next on my list of things is Torsi says, oh, sorry, people going left, right, and centre in the house. Torsi said, I'm so amazingly unpretentious, so thank you. I don't try, but I guess that's just me. And Red Sky Blackbird said he'll call the police on me. Shocking. I do promise to return that teaspoon. I promise. Moving on to literal fast chat, my low energy chit chat. I was just so tired that night. So low energy. Big Virgo Troop says it's cold in the US, northeast. Though it's very sunny, we did have a blizzard. So fires are nice things. There's nothing like snuggling on the fire on a cold day. Winter has been pretty mild in the Chicago area, so that's quite surprising. Usually I hear that Chicago is pretty freezing, but it's good that it's not too bad, and I hope it doesn't get worse for you, Mark. Torsi says, am I burning sod or peat bricks? I burn wood. It's a wood burning fire. We have a wood just opposite the house that we can pillage from. We also have willow, which grows a lot each year. It takes a long time to dry willow out, but you can get a lot of reasonably good sized between kindling and log size wood off of willow. It just takes about a year and a half to dry out, but once it's dry you get a lot of resources from 2 willows. And it was warm, it was lovely. And Mr. Berry asked if I have a job interview next week. The reason why I was nervous about this week was because people are at the office, and that means I have to step up my game a little bit. So yeah, it wasn't that fun. It's a vlog video where I basically I needed to film a vlog, so I took the definition of a vlog, which is talking in front of a camera, and I ran with it. Someone said it's the most objective vlog ever. Why, thank you. Bring Virgo YouTube says, "'Twas the beginning of a vlog, Jenny Milady." Maybe I could turn it into a full-length vlog, but that's all I could do that day. Mark Marley says, "I'm confused. Was this one of those music videos?" Same with Red Sky Blackbird says, "It's not a vlog. I need to say vlog at least a few more times." And Nathan Lau thought it was a review, so I'm so really confused, you guys. I was trying so hard to do a good vlog. Ranger7 Studio says, "I need more vlogs, clearly, because my channel does not have enough vlogs." And KSJ says, "I've vlogged 9 times in this video alone," so I feel like I'm getting mixed messages from you guys. Should I vlog more? Should I vlog less? I don't know. I don't know how it would be possible for me to manage vlogging more. And Eggbuster says, "JSS, you're hot." So I think either you've misspelled my name, or you're talking about my hot tea or something. But thank you for the compliment. And Big Virgo Tube also says that I'm hot and classy, so thank you. I tried my best to be classy, and it was actually, it was really chilly that night. I was really cold in my room, so I wasn't particularly hot that night. I took off my cardigan right before filming, and then almost immediately it was like, I need a duvet. It's cold. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the weird editing in the middle. Hopefully this video comes out okay. Sorry for the strange echo. Yeah, thank you for watching. I would say something like Bert for my secret word, for those of you who don't know what that is, because these videos can go on a bit longer. I like to know who's actually watched the end. So today's secret word of the day is going to be lettuce, because that's Bert's favourite food, and he was absolutely covered in it earlier. So lettuce is today's secret word of the day. So if you put that down in the comments, I know exactly how many of you have actually watched the end of the video. And yeah, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. And I will see you guys all next week for another commentary, and tomorrow for a Naked Truth. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll send your love on to Bert, and I'll see you guys all next week.